Jake Martinez had delivered packages to every corner of New Angeles Orbital Station for 3 years. Pharmaceuticals to the medical wing, spare parts to engineering, occasionally exotic foods to the diplomatic quarters. It was honest work that paid his mother's medical bills, and that was enough. The package that changed everything was addressed to Professor Velshera in the Xenoarchaeology Department, a sealed container marked Fragile, Ancient Artifact. Jake had delivered dozens like it before. He knocked, got no answer, and used his master key as protocol allowed for valuable deliveries. The professor's lab was a maze of pedestals displaying fragments of dead civilizations. Crystal shards that once powered forgotten engines. Tablets covered in languages no living being could read. At the center sat a black obelisk, roughly 2 meters tall, covered in flowing script that seemed to shimmer and shift. Jake set the package down and turned to leave. That's when he tripped over a carelessly placed scanner, stumbling forward. His hand shot out to catch himself against the obelisk. The moment his skin touched the stone, pain exploded through his skull. Images flooded his mind. Vast fleets of ships made from living metal, beings of pure energy commanding galaxies, stars being born and dying at the gesture of a hand. And words. Thousands upon thousands of words in a language that felt ancient and new simultaneously, pouring into his consciousness like water into an empty vessel. Jake gasped and pulled back. The obelisk pulsed with golden light. By the void, he whispered, then froze. Those weren't his words. They'd come out in a language of cascading harmonics and resonant tones that made his teeth ache. Yet he understood them perfectly. The door burst open. Professor Velshera stood there, her 4 eyes wide with shock. The insectoid alien's translator barely kept up with her rapid speech. You spoke Celestial Prime. That's impossible. Humans don't have the neural architecture for... I don't know what I did, Jake said, his words switching unconsciously between English and this new tongue. I touched it, and suddenly I can understand everything on these tablets. This one talks about folding space using gravitational harmonics. This fragment is a children's poem about the birth of consciousness. That crystal is a data core containing the locations of 17 monarch gates scattered across. He stopped, realizing everyone was staring at him. 3 more xenoarchaeologists had crowded into the doorway. The Star Kings have been extinct for 10 million years, Professor Velshera said slowly. Celestial Prime died with them. Scholars have spent centuries trying to decode even basic words. The Quantum Academy's best linguists, the hive mind collectives, even the eternal archivists, all failed. She approached Jake carefully, as if he might explode. How can a human delivery boy speak it fluently? Jake looked at his hands, still tingling from the obelisk's touch. I don't know, but I can feel it now like it's always been there. He struggled for words, like remembering something I never forgot. Over the next hours, Jake translated more in the laboratory than the entire xenoarchaeological community had managed in 300 years. Star charts to lost worlds. Technological blueprints for devices that could revolutionize faster-than-light travel. Cultural records of an empire that had spanned for galaxies. But it was the final tablet that made everyone go silent. Jake's voice shook as he read. We, the Star Kings, built our empire on the principle that any species could rise to greatness. Professor Velshera's translator crackled with emotion. They left us a test, and a human passed it. Jake thought about his life, working double shifts, studying in the few hours between deliveries, reading everything he could get his hands on despite never affording university. Being kind to everyone he met because his mother taught him that courtesy costs nothing. Living curious in a universe full of wonders. I think, he said quietly in Celestial Prime, the words feeling like coming home, they didn't choose species. They chose character. The news spread across the galaxy within days. A human, young, uneducated by formal standards, working class, had unlocked the greatest linguistic mystery in recorded history. Humanity's reputation shifted overnight. They weren't just the scrappy newcomers anymore. They were the ones who proved the ancient tests still worked. And Jake Martinez, who'd only wanted to pay his mother's medical bills, became the bridge between humanity's future and the cosmos's distant past. He'd shown the galaxy something they'd forgotten, that greatness wasn't about power or prestige. It was about who you chose to be when nobody was watching. That was humanity's real gift to the universe.